Hey guys, what is up? It's Dusty here and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And guys, right now I am extremely bullish on Bitcoin. There's one thing that just flashed in the Bitcoin charts that I need to show to you guys because it is insane. All right, it is completely insane. And most likely just groundbreaking stuff. I want to share it with you guys as soon as possible. But there's actually a couple of different ideas and trades that I have. I think you guys want to hear the whole story though. So make sure you watch this entire video through so you don't miss out on anything. And make sure you press that like button if you are enjoying these daily crypto videos. I'm trying to hit 500 likes on this video. Let's see if it is possible. First of all, what's going on in the entire market? Well, right now, as it currently stands, the S&P is doing extremely good. Or rather, all the stocks, all our major indices have been doing pretty well over the last couple of hours, I'm gonna say. I don't want to extrapolate it too much into saying it's just been a bullish season or anything of the sorts, but we can surely conclude that this little sparkle here has been rather positive. You can see the last at least day or so has been positive for stocks, and that also often translates into Bitcoin. Having said that, there's a couple things which I'm watching right now. I'm gonna quickly go over them first just to kind of showcase to you guys what we have in store for today, and then I'm going to explain piece by piece why I think these things are important. So let's start out with the most important one, the most crazy one, the most groundbreaking one, which is the pi cycle bottom. I've told you guys on multiple different occasions, and by the way, I'm sorry for the echo. Let me know if the echo is okay / bearable. Otherwise, I'll set my setup somewhere else in this apartment. As I'm noticing right now, it's pretty echoey, but yeah. So to give you guys a quick little rundown, there's this pi cycle bottom indicator that I've showcased to you guys a couple of different times in the past. And what it has basically showcased to us is every single time that Bitcoin bottoms. Now, over the last couple of years, it has actually only flashed twice. On this specific chart, we can't even see it more than once because, well, it's Bitstamp here and it might not even go far back enough. Let's quickly check it out. It might not go back far enough because it's somewhere in 2015. Okay, here we go. Actually, I'm thinking as well, Bitstamp is pretty old, so they should have it over in there. If we are going to zoom in though, you'll start to see. Okay, I think for reference, using a logarithmic chart is fine, but as you can see right here at the start of 2015 is the first time that this indicator flipped or showcased or signaled, whatever. It went paired with a significantly low RSI, and again, it's this flip right here that we are talking about. Going away from logarithmic again, then here you can see the 2017-18 bull run top, and then a little bit afterwards in December of 2018, you can see that the pi cycle bottom indicator switched again or flipped again or whatever you want to call it here, went to showcase that there's a bottom, again paired with a significantly low RSI, and in hindsight, that was an extremely juicy bottom to buy as that was a Bitcoin price of roughly $3,000. Now there's two things which I'm showcasing to you guys here. One is what we were previously saying about buying when the RSI is showcasing oversold conditions. Every single time thus far that Bitcoin shows oversold over on the weekly, it turned out to be a very good decision to buy. And right now, as it currently stands, we have two things going on. One is the pi cycle bottom indicator is flashing. It just officially flipped for the first time in a couple of years, together with this significantly oversold RSI, as you can see, or at least RSI in oversold territory. As it currently stands, we're also hovering slightly above the 2017-18 top. And so as it currently stands, guys, the moment that we break through, all right, and actually get some either crazy close below 19,000, but most importantly, any close below the top that we had in 2017-18, I'm going to start to get bearish and I'm going to look for some positions all the way towards 16.5. But as it currently stands, I'm still expecting the relief rally I called out to you guys a couple of weeks ago, all the way towards $29,000 or somewhere close. To put it into perspective here, we have this channel as well to kind of showcase for it where you can see what our different price layers are. In this one, I would even go as far as saying $30,000 looks like a first little spot. Then again, we can actually logically see that there's a significant I guess support / resistance that can be found at $29,000-ish as well. So I'm going to say that this entire area is valid for at least one more retest. And again, guys, you got to be considerate It could obviously also look a little bit along the lines of this, right? We get a crazy pump going, at least to some degree, before coming right back down into this zone, before pumping again, and then potentially breaking out or so. Again, we're not saying that this is linear. We're not saying that this is going to be a one-stop thing. But what we are saying is that Bitcoin has found a very significant bottom, and that the chance of upside is just so ridiculously high. From some of our earlier charts, it is also interesting to see, though, how we've actually flipped and kind of flipped back down, and to kind of showcase and see how indeed the RSI is such a powerful indicator for showcasing bottoms, or at least good buying opportunities, because when this flashes that it is in a good oversold area, very often it is an extremely good area to buy, and the higher the time frame, the stronger that this gets. Now, there are only two flaws to this story, or rather, there are two other opportunities that I'm sharing with you guys for when we could see some downside and what trades we could make if that happens. I'm pointing towards the screen, but you guys can't see it. What I'm referring to is two different continuation patterns that could persist, could continue on, and one of them I've showcased to you guys a little while ago. It is this one right here. The second one can be, deduced from just watching what you're seeing in front of you right now. Now, both of these have a tendency to break towards the downside. Obviously, this is just a symmetrical triangle as far as it looks, but we can definitely consider this a bearish pennant though. And again, following both of these, it would not be too crazy to, on the shortest of shortest terms, to have a little continuation towards the downside and potentially break out towards the downside as well. Again, over on this continuation pattern, it looks like we're going to see a little bit of upside before seeing further downside. But I guess that's what makes this game so fun. So let's quickly conclude. What are we looking for in terms of opportunities, and why am I shouting out both these scenarios? Let me reiterate something very important. I am not trying to say that we should actually take a short position right here all the way towards $19.3 thousand or so. No, I'm actually saying something completely different. Let's wait for a breakout, and here's a couple of different charts we can watch a breakout on. For example, the moment that we break out towards the downside below, let's say $19,000, I'm going to be looking for a short position based on this chart. However, from following this chart right here, the moment that Bitcoin breaks below $19.3 thousand, it might already be a juicy idea to open up a short position. This strengthens our earlier idea of whenever we close below 19,000, that a short will be a really juicy idea or profitable one. However, as it currently stands, I am in no short position, nor do I think that's the best idea. I actually think that there's more upside to come, mostly based on the idea that the stock market is extremely bullish right now. Most indicators have flashed bullish signs for Bitcoin. We've hit a major roadblock, a major bottom, and so can we actually get back to $19,000 over the next couple of days? Sure. Are we expecting it to? No. Inflation numbers, the craziest of all time, basically, at least for me, over the last 20 years or so, maybe even longer than that, have just been published. It is insane. Maybe it's been 50 years. I don't even know how long we've not seen that inflation. It is just mind-boggling. 9.1% officially in the US. That is insane. There's a good chance that the worst is now over. So obviously, one of the factors I'm watching for in terms of fear is the interest rate hikes. Obviously, that decision might actually cause a quick pump or dump in the markets yet again. But most important was definitely the inflation numbers. And since that's not been taken out of the market, this selling pressure, this fear pressure from those numbers is now taken out as well. At some point or another, all these indicators basically bundled together and you get a relief rally. And honestly, as it currently stands, that's what we are feeling, as if it's most likely going to be a little relief rally, potentially all the way towards $27,000 to $29,000 before then making another choice. Maybe we're going to go to the next fib level. Maybe we're actually going to get resisted at this point and come back down and catch an even deeper bottom. But a lot of the big whales, I'm talking centimillionaires that have told me, like when Bitcoin was at maybe 50,000 or so. That's actually funny. There's one guy I know, he's very well connected to everybody in crypto, very wealthy. He actually said, I think he made I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say that. He made a bet with let's just say it like this. He made a bet with somebody in crypto that to what price Bitcoin was going to go, right? One is a very famous YouTuber. You guys might know this, a crypto YouTuber. He made a bet with him where Bitcoin was going to go. The YouTuber said 100,000. The guy said 69,000. I think maybe it was for fun, right? A joke, but it was the bet, and it was for a lot of money. It could be a couple 100,000 that they bet for. And the guy won, obviously, because it hit 69,000. And he told me maybe a couple weeks afterwards when we were discussing some fun stuff, just fun, Bitcoin was going to hit $18,000. Now, obviously, I did not really listen. He said he sold all his positions. He sold all his stuff to buy back cheaper. I didn't listen. I didn't believe him because it didn't sound logical at the time. Now, obviously, one thing I do want to give him is you should always prepare for a bigger dip, in the sense that you should always have cash ready. I personally am risk averse in the sense of that I'd rather have more Bitcoin and not sell it so I can buy back cheaper than selling it for my euros or dollars with the risk of Bitcoin just soaring and I never get to buy back in. Because there's a difference between stacking Satoshis and stacking dollars. As it currently stands though, guys, I'm extremely bullish on Bitcoin, just to get you guys a quick conclusion. And even though we can definitely see a dump in the medium term, again, maybe towards 19,000 if we break, we'll make new decisions. I think the short term is looking extremely bullish, extremely juicy, and maybe that will turn around if the stock market just switches up on us and goes berserk towards the downside again. But from Bitcoin's perspective, the worst is pushed out. An easy long, I think, up to about $22,000 even might still be warranted, as I think there's going to be a relief rally in the short term though, guys. My major indicator has flashed, my pi cycle bottom. I'm very excited for that. And so again, longs is all I am looking for in the short term. But the moment that we break through, maybe $90,000, I'm going to be looking for some short positions again. So I'll update you guys if something like that happens in the near future. So once more, guys, extremely bullish, extremely excited. I'm going to see you guys again in another video pretty soon.